see the gloom written on your downtrodden faces. Our precious city quivers with fear. I cast blame upon the vile Merqua that stains our docks violet and plagues the hulls of our ships. Its foul tendrils corrupt the good creatures of this land and vex our citizens. But what of us, the Eshans? We are mighty!
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Weave the Tale, to tonight's episode of The Lost Druid, a wonderful, beautiful module by Alchemy RPG on their beautiful system. This whole thing you see our faces on. That's crazy. But before we hop into that, I'm going to get some housekeeping out of the way, then we'll meet our beautiful crew, and then we'll be good to go. So, first, let's talk about our wonderful sponsors. We have Grinding Coffee, a Black LGBT plus owned coffee business that will keep you awake and happy with the best roast directly shipped to your door. Please use our affiliate link if you put in the chat !coffee, and note that our discount code is penny for a tale, all one word, all spelled out. Next, we have Dice Dungeons, a Baltimore-based company that has a passion for making beautiful and high-quality dice and gaming accessories for every table, so please check them out by using our command !dice if you are looking to add something special to your RPG accessory hoard. And we have Fibermancers for hire. This summer season, we've been gifted the adorable little mini weavers. We're going to be giving them away at the end of the season. Look at your little guy. You just want a little squish whatever cheeks that they got. The Fibermancers would love to make unique and magical pieces for you. Visit at Fibermancers for hire, the number 4 on that. Also, as a reminder, you can interact with our story in multiple ways tonight. The first being retweet and subs. The command tweet, get that going around. It'll get some goodies for our crew. At 20, they get a boon, and guess what? At 40, they get another boon. Actually, no, it's gonna be hard enough tonight. Y'all can keep getting boons. I won't be mean yet. Also, donations for this game in particular. $5 donation will get you an advantage roll for a player of your choice. Be sure to highlight that so that way we know who you are talking about. Do that with any of these donations so we know exactly what wonderful boon you are wanting to give. $15 is a disadvantage roll for the GM that players can choose to use whenever. $25 is an advantage roll for the entire party. $50 is health potions for the entire party, which they're going to need it later. We'll see. And then we'll do something special for $150. I think that is it for today. So remember for the rest of the week to come back, check our socials. Every other Thursday we have some Pathfinder Into the Stormlands back to make sure you catch what week those are. Friday at 3:30 Eastern, we have Autumn of the Fireflies, which is a Shadowrun game ran by Mitch. We have Saturday, 6 p.m. EST, Emotional Drive, which is a necrobiotic game ran by Nikki. And then Sunday at 3 p.m., we have Neon Revolution, which is a Thirsty Sword Lesbians game ran by our very own Spins. We have so much good fun. And before we get into today's fun, let's everybody tell us who you are, what you're about, where we can find you. We will start with Marlo.
That's me. Hi, I'm Marlo. I'm playing Lelbeth Greenthread. Lelbeth is a little gremlin of a gnome, and she eats cornbread like it's an apple, just out of her hand, just like this. If you want to find me, you can find me on Twitter at Marlo Bogwitch. I love to play in games, especially horror games. So I'm here. I'm playing a gnome rogue. Let's do it.
Heck yeah. Matt, tell us about yourself.
Hi, Hi, I'm Matt, the Killer GM. You can find me on Twitter at the Killer GM, where I talk about nerding, gamery things. I like to play games or run games. Maybe name might imply some of that. I don't know. Whatever. Tonight I am playing Derrin Twinkletoes over a bard who is of passing talent. We're still working on the talent bits, but it's fine enough. Comes from circumstances. It's fine.
That's fine. D, what about you?
Oh, hi. Somehow I was not ready for this, even though it's simply in direct order on the screen. My name is D. Tonight I will be playing the ever presumptuous Linus Poodle and his good friend Simon. I do things all over the internet, and if you like playing games and you like my style, you might be able to play games with me here soon. Ooh, bit of a teaser, is it?
Oh boy. And then, last but definitely not least, Spence.
Hey, I'm so glad to be last because it lets me do all the tech stuff. I am Spence. I am Resident Moon all over the internet pretty much. And I am playing Addie Silvercrest, the Water Genasi barbarian who has just joined the crew. And it's very at home on the water, but it's very sad to see all of this terrible algae. And they use they, them pronouns.
Beautiful. Okay. I think that is it for the, housekeeping. Let me, second. The last time we saw this crew, they were approached by a guy who totally knew what he was talking about, was super high up in the ranks with the Starless Fair, and everything was fine. You very quickly found out that he was full of shit, but got you a job to go steal some sort of blueprint from inside a warehouse where Lelbeth scaled the walls, made their way inside to find that our new companion here, Addie, was already in the process of absolutely kicking butt to this very enraged person transformed. He was very odd, but had managed with a maybe accidental, maybe purposeful blow to knock him down, and they made off with some materials for their contact, blueprints, and an interesting piece of equipment, a gun that the blueprint was for. Lelbeth intercepting Addie, y'all had a little conversation. Lelbeth got the blueprint, and the OG crew went off one way, where Addie went to go meet up with someone at the forge to hand off their item, their element that they found, to then be given some gunpowder and musket balls, essentially, to attempt to see if this gun works, and should be fun. Then our other crew met with the head of the Starless Fair, who was very grateful for that blueprint and has offered anytime y'all wish to go out to the rambunctious floating barge city, you are more than welcome, and there should be some more pay in it, but y'all did not have time to take them up on it quite yet, because you had to get back to Captain Redfall and to the Moxie VII for your journey out across the lake, and in search of the lost Druid themselves, Gilgazo. You all met up, meeting Addie on the way, or well, not on the way, but there, and all of you ended up a part of this crew, learning that Addie had a bit of a history with this crew and ran with Redfall and some of these people, and it made everyone's transition into this setting a little bit easier, as you chatted, shared stories, looked at the sights across the lake, shared a bowl of Mayfire's chili and cornbread, and everyone went their separate ways to bed, to watch, whatever that may be. I believe Lelbeth and Derrin were our first watch. Very uneventful as the night goes on. A little bit of a fog rolls in, adding to the fog cloud that Linus had provided for the bottom of the boat, which very much helped keep y'all from being noticed from maybe some not so savory creatures below the waves. As the night is oddly not very dark because of the purple glow that seems to emanate across the lake from this Merqua. It's, if you didn't know how dangerous and vile this stuff really is on nature, it could be beautiful. You know, having that and the stars up in the sky. The night goes on, though, uneventful. As then the little later in the evening, whenever y'all choose to go to bed and the watch switches over, Redfall takes over for the first mate, and Addie, you awaken and you do your usual routine that you would do on the boat to get ready.
Mostly I get the barnacles off the bottom of the boat while we're going, since I'm the only one that can breathe underwater.
Fully needed. They obviously have not done that since the last time you were on this boat, probably. It's a bit of a mess. Redfall's like, we haven't gone very far, you know. But let me actually real quick pull up, because I have seemed to have forgotten every single crew member's name. They've all left my head. Every single one of them. So I'm going to pull them up real quick.
Brain fog is a thing. It is A-okay.
It is
We all woke up with amnesia.
Yeah. What's your name? I mean, this is just Taylor in real life. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I know you. But please remind me your name. Okay. We have Yisha was the first mate. The human scout. Kind of sharp, a little harsh. We had Wix, the gnome that was the quartermaster. Run down so I don't forget again. We had Sun Lisa, which was the sweet little old lady cook, human as well. And then I think that was the named crew. You know, if you always have a few little people here on hand, but it seems this was the crew for possibly a very dangerous mission. But Addie, as you get up on top of the deck, you start to notice that in the distance, the sky is starting to shift to a moody gray, and coming into view, a massive cloud swirls rapidly, expanding beyond the jagged rocks at the mouth of the broken top bay.
Okay,
a thundering boom grows louder.
Yeah, I holler, "Storm coming, batten everything down."
You all down below hear that as the crew kind of starts popping out of their bunks and moving. And now a thundering boom kind of grows louder as the ship approaches, and y'all can feel the deck shaking and the fixtures rattling. The hull groans as a deep undercurrent starts to pull the vessel towards the inevitable. Redfall, perched at the helm, steadies the ship and cracks a half smile. Kind of looks over at you, Addie, and sets his eyes on the fabled broken top bay. Everyone, you all rush up to the top, the crew immediately going to their certain positions. And as Redfall notices you all coming up, he yells to just everyone in general over the now roaring wind. There be the calamity, the broken top bay. And he's got this like deep belly laugh, a little maniacal, a little like, well, at least he's in a good mood in case we die. A sudden crack of lightning sends a flash across the darkness, illuminating glimpses of waves like mountains, terrible and angry, crashing beneath a funneling black cloud, an omen of impending doom. At its epicenter, a twisting spiral of water swirls into a raging maelstrom. The wind grows cold and violent, and the sea mist stings as it whips across your faces. The clouds above you churn, trapped and swirling in a rumbling void. Up ahead, you see there's a narrow gap between the encircling rocks, 2 points, sharp and jagged, protruding from the water like bony fingers of a monster grasping from the depths of the lake. Waters churn and crash against the passageway. Lining the rocky perimeter leading to the bay are the skeletal remains of the ill-fated vessels that have failed at the seemingly impossible nautical feat. Captain Redfall yells out once more, "I steal your heart. We head forth for our fate between the crooked fingers." Takes a big old swig of his drink and just throws the bottle down and grabs hold. Addie, you were the first one up here, so I feel like it's only fitting for you to roll for our first difficulty. Will you roll a quick D12 for me? And for everybody, as we go through these random trials of trying to get through this challenge, we're going to run it like, you know, in your movement, you can get wherever you need to go, because this is like go, 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 go. Like every movement matters. So you don't have to worry too much about like, oh, well, it's going to take you about 30 feet to get to the bottom deck. We'll just kind of go with it. And then
So
with that,
7?
anything action, bonus action. Perfect. So, you notice as he says that, and everyone kind of starts grabbing, all of you kind of going to certain areas that either Wix or Addie had pointed out the day before of, you know, this is where you help with the sails and this or that, and kind of falling into that, what do I do until something happens? And the boat kind of dips down into the water, waves splashing back on everybody. You kind of wipe the salt water, or not the salt water, the cold water, this is a lake, away from your faces. And you now see on the front side of the boat, front right side of the boat, there was a harpoon gun that now has an enormous octopus kind of wrapping itself around the harpoon, and looks like it's got that kind of purplish tinge to it. I won't say it doesn't look, you know, fully transformed or altered like the cat that y'all had fought or any other creature that you know is hostile because of this, but it has kind of that purplish to it. And it looks like it is trying to get off the ship and is pulling kind of this harpoon gun with it. What would you all like to do in this first? I'll just kind of, everyone can make their move as is. As you see, one, your main weapon on the ship about to be taken out, and then also just the general panic of the ship. We'll just start with Lelbeth. We'll go kind of down the order. Yeah, Addie, you've got a thing?
Okay, so Addie would have been making sure that people were tied to their safety lines, but seeing something on the harpoon would immediately dash forward with my two hand axes to chop off the octopus.
Okay, awesome. So go ahead. You run up, roll to hit. Anyone else? What would y'all like to do in this situation, or anything in particular?
I will probably take up, I was told batten down the hatches, so I'm going wherever I need to with other people there, asking them what they need me to help them do. So I guess tie knots, dexterity stuff.
Yeah, definitely. So as certain things kind of get going post this first, oh god, I will allow that the crew's skill checks and stuff will get a additional bonus since you're kind of helping them this round. I'll allow them to have an extra +2 to their roll.
So I rolled a 15.
Awesome. Yeah, you I say even with the 3, you easily kind of run up and slash down on one of the octopuses octopi's tentacles. I hate that word. And it kind of runs loose, and you see the harpoon that was starting to kind of, you can see it pulling some of the boards up, falls back just a little bit, but it is still kind of latched around on it, kind of. And it doesn't seem like it's actively trying to attack you or anything, but it is like, I'm so confused, kind of flailing around and just in panic mode of still pulling. But
okay, so I took dual wielder.
free.
I took dual wielder as my feat for level 4. So as a bonus action, I get to do another melee attack. So I would like to do that, please.
Do that. Nice.
Okay, that's a 14.
That just hits, and that is, I'll say, that knocks off a couple more of the legs, and with that, it's a little frightened and kind of, lets loose of all its thing.
We're alive.
Woo! Alrighty. So, what happened last? We got the octopus has pulled itself off. Linus is kind of helping get everything all tied up and ready to go. So Derrin and Lelbeth, you both notice as this is kind of going on, and you're on, we'll say the left side of the boat. I've already forgotten it. Wait, starboard right. So then
Starboard is right, port is left.
port. Okay, port side. As y'all kind of are in that general area, you see in this water, like I said, the current seems to be pushing y'all much quicker. And then, it's very jolting, not even just from the water itself. It almost feels like something is hitting the boat as y'all look over and see as a few tentacles of this like moss seems to just move on its own and latch on to the edge of the boat. It kind of comes up over the side of the boat and a little tentacle and is, kind of pulling at the ship. You can hear the board starting to crack and kind of groan as it is literally trying to rip apart the boat. I'll say y'all notice at least 3 on the port side currently from where y'all are at that have kind of plopped up and are pulling at the boat itself, these tentacles. What would the 2 of y'all like to do on this turn? Before then, I will officially go to the turn order.
I'm gonna hop on the nearest one and with dagger in hand, just stabbing repeatedly and screaming
Absolutely.
wildly.
Absolutely. Roll for me, please. Oh, damn. Yep, 23 will hit with, I gotta keep note since there are multi. You kind of stab into it as part of it just kind of sloughs off onto the ground and kind of loses a little bit of that glow as it's kind of separated from the rest of it, but it's still kind of holding on, but seems to have less of a grip of the ship currently. Oh my goodness.
The scream sounds like this.
Alrighty. Derrin, what would you like to do?
Derrin, seeing that, just wither and die, you overgrown seaweed, and just viciously mock it.
Oh, well, all right.
Alright.
Now that's a little... Okay, well, geez. Come on,
No.
now.
The time for
let's
nice
see,
words
so
is
that's
past. We can deal with it later.
Save. Oh, it does not pass that, so it will take the 4 damage. Were you aiming at the same one that Lelbeth is?
No, and a different one.
Okay.
Because trying to not have as many attacks happening. And he'll sweep forward and draw his rapier. Like there's probably like a crack of lightning and it flashes and gleams in light.
Yes. Awesome. Okay. Let's see. So then before we kind of fully start from the beginning, all of you now hear a couple of loud, not chirps, not squawks. I don't know, squawk. Seagulls squawk, right? I feel like that's the proper noise word for the noise they make. That seem very, very guttural, very pained as you see 2 of these purple tinted, skin very rotting looking, with those kind of veins of that pulsing purplish black ooze all over them. These 2 seagulls start to kind of swoop in and dive towards various individuals crew members causing a ruckus. So I am going to, let's see, if everyone can roll initiative. I have both Derrin and Linus in the queue.
Yeah, I wasn't logged in, so I rolled it just a
No, you're good.
D20.
Oh, okay. Let's see.
Is
there
the
initiative
background
button
not
somewhere? Do you see like the
The background is frozen for the screen, and I'm not going to play with it because I don't want everything to freeze again. So, but you can.
Fair.
We will still do the things.
So I rolled
Fair.
a 17 plus 3,
Okay.
so 20 on my initiative.
Okay, perfect. So help me remember as I go through, since I'm going to use the turn order up there too, so I don't forget. Let's see.
And I rolled my initiative. It's 20.
Perfect.
Just 20 total.
My end game. I don't know how to add additional guys. So I guess we're gonna do mob rules, and then I'll just keep their individual health on my notepad. So, Derrin, you are up officially first, and why won't you roll me a quick D12 as well?
D12, that sounds hazardous.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's an 8.
An 8. So as you kind of attack this tentacle monster, or tentacle of moss and nasty, you now see and can point out that there are 3 other globs of these tentacles on the far side. And as you're looking over, you see that the knot on the mast comes loose and the mainsail begins to flap wildly and is in danger of blowing away. As then there, so you have mast going wild, 6 tentacles, 2 birds. Whee!
Yeah.
And a partridge in a pear tree.
And a partridge in a pear.
Oh no, that's next round. And so he kind of looks back to Redfall. Captain, have the crew tamp down the mainsail. And then he'll just go to work on one of the tentacles.
Awesome. Alrighty.
And
the same one you mocked?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Should be that. Let's try that. Oh no.
Right.
Why?
Nope.
Boo.
That does not hit, as it seems to have gotten a little smart and just kind of parts around your blade for a second. Just like, ugh.
That's not fair at all. Not fair at all. And he starts rearing back for another swing as we leave.
Awesome. Alrighty. Addie and Lelbeth, y'all are in the same order together. Who has the higher dex between the two? I feel like I'm pretty dexterous.
Probably Lelbeth.
Lelbeth.
Yeah, probably. Too many tabs. Too many tabs.
It's the same.
I only have a +1, so.
Oh, okay. Then
Yeah.
Definitely Lelbeth. What would you like to do? You have currently your dagger in one that is hurting, and you also see the chaos that is ensuing as well.
So I'm tiny, so what I would like to try to do is sort of like, now that my dagger's in it, sort of like slide down it, like hopped on it, and I was like, yeah, just drag the blade down it.
Hell yeah.
Let me see what I can.
Yep, you absolutely severed this one tentacle off, and it just kind of plops down in all these different separate pieces of, seaweed and crustaceans and stuff off the boat. Is there anything, move, or bonus action you would like to do?
Yeah, let me see. Yeah.
Can I
Excuse me.
yell something at you as you come down from that?
Mhm.
Could use some help on the harpoon here.
Yeah, I'm on it then. I'm gonna dash. Use my cunning action to dash.
Awesome. Yep, you rush up there to Annie, who it is your turn.
Okay, so bonus action, I would like to rage.
Beautiful.
So I'm gonna do that, and then I am going to take my first attack, or take my attack to hopefully get the last of that octopus off the harpoon. Fingers
Okay.
crossed. Nope.
No, the boat
And I
gets
just had a
hit by
bird
this
fly
giant
into my
wave.
window. That was fun. Okay.
It knew.
That was
Yeah,
that was some interesting timing.
Yeah, you get hit by this like wave as one of the birds just flies by and knocks you in the head. a little thrown off.
Yeah,
Anything
and
else?
that's no, I'm gonna wait until I can get Lelbeth set up before I rush off to fight some more.
Awesome. Alrighty, let's see. Then it goes to Linus. Oh, I forgot I can actually move this. Linus.
Okay. If there's nothing else that I see in particular that needs to be handled outside of the octopus, since I've already helped the crew out, I guess I should have phrased that like a question. Is there anything I need to handle instead of the octopus? Or is that
I
like
mean,
the
you
primary
have.
thing now?
There's the octopus pulling the harpoon down. The mainsail is loose with the crew kind of flailing around trying to get that. There are still 5 tentacles attached to the ship, and then 2 birds attacking.
Okay.
So you got a plethora of
Yeah,
items.
there's all sorts of nonsense and shenanigans. Linus will go. Oh, for some reason it just made me level 3 again. I don't know what just happened.
Oh.
But for some reason, I will move to the front of where the sail is and go, help me out here, buddy, if you don't mind. And I'll like lean my head back, and Simon will just like engulf most of the top of my head, and all of my hair will start floating up out of my eyes, and I'll pull my head out, and it's like tied in this like knot of braids, and I'll take a sharpshooter shot. I want to try and pin this sail to the crow's nest.
Yes, absolutely. Go ahead and roll for me. Let's see, there is a DV for this. So go ahead and shoot that.
1 second, I gotta re-enter the stuff from my level up since it undid it for some reason. Sorry.
No, you are good.
Okay, where's longbow? Life. Shaped by fighting style back. I'll do it in a second. It's whatever I roll plus 2.
Awesome.
1 second. So 17.
All right, that will do it. You Having a free view, especially with the wind kind of flapping around and messing with your hair earlier, and you kind of breathe and think and focus on this as it's just kind of flapping around, the air and the wind kind of in all different directions as you're in the middle of this kind of maelstrom that's going on. And just breathe and wait until you see that flap just barely kind of roll up to the crow's nest as you release, and right, not even you just hit the sail, like it's right in the eyelet, you know, it's not going to rip out as it sticks and kind of, you know, bellows again, maybe not quite in the direction you want, but enough that it isn't hindering the path forward.
Awesome.
Alrighty. Up next, does Seven want to do anything? Does he have his own turn, or is that just when you tell him to do things?
Simon, I have to use my bonus action to tell him to do things, but I kind of just
Gotcha.
want him to stay next to me right now anyway, so
Cool.
it's fine.
Perfect. Alrighty, so then it goes to the gulls that are flying around. They are going to, since one did, in real life go after Addie, we're going to have one of the gulls is up on the front of the ship near the harpoon and is going to fly down and peck at Addie, or not peck, scratch with their talons. We're going to roll. Ooh, that is a 23.
Yeah, that hits.
That hits.
Hey,
for,
can I make that not a
G-Sport.
crit? Can I jump in?
Oh, is that a
and make it not a
crit?
hit? I believe so.
Oh, it is a crit.
Unless-
Yeah, you definitely can.
I probably should help out with that. I'm gonna use my reaction and do some cutting words there. 'Cause I can.
Yes.
So I'm gonna throw a d6 and it'll subtract whatever that is from that roll.
Beautiful.
It's 1, but 1's enough.
Okay, but it's not a 20 anymore. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yep, so it is just 4 damage. As it slashes down on the back of your neck. Then the other one, I think... hey, we'll have it go after Derrin. Oh, yes.
Quick question. Does it also fly out of my range?
I mean, by technicals, I would say probably not. Since it's kind of
Okay.
like attacking, because it's going to keep kind of at you.
Gotcha. Okay, so it's like right in my face. Got it.
Yeah. Okay. Then the other one, let's go after Derrin. Let's like, don't talk to my buddy. And that one's a 22. These guys can hit good for 5 damage as it kind of flies and is just scratching at your shoulder blade, Derrin.
Ow! Like rats with wings!
The seaweed. I don't. Hold on 1 second. I don't see an action listed for it. I think it is just Holden and Dragon, and that is what it do. Yep, it is just Holden and Dragon, not attempting to do anything but that. So, Derrin, your turn.
Yeah, we need to get the seaweed off of here, so I'm gonna go ahead and take another swipe at it with my rapier and see if I can get a bit of purchase, even though I've got the seagull, like, clawing and hacking at me. I'm trying to, like, wave it off. Go away! Go away!
Okay.
A 23. Hopefully that's a hit.
That is definitely a hit.
Alright, that should be 7 damage.
Beautiful. So the one that you had vicious mocked earlier lets loose, falling again into pieces. Y'all feel the ship almost lurch over to the starboard side as now there's 3 to just 1, and it's pulling down. You notice as this tentacle lets loose that there's a crack that goes down the side, like this little wall there on the ship as it's been cracking. You look and see that the same thing is happening at each one as they are physically ripping the ship apart as it goes on, taking what you would imagine some damage to the whole HP of y'all's boat. What else would you like to do with your turn?
What else have I got right now? I should probably, you know what? Addie looks like they're having a bit of a time. I'm gonna chuck a bit of inspiration their way, and
Beautiful.
so that'll be some d6 on a roll later, and start turning to face this seagull because I can't. Look, it takes a lot to look this good, and if it's going to be such a little pain about it, I will make it feel every inch of pain it dishes out right back.
Awesome.
And that'll be my turn.
Beautiful. Alrighty. No, Lelbeth first. What would you like to do? There is still the octopus is barely holding on. 2 birds, one of them directly over Addie.
I'm gonna be stabbing at that octopus.
Okay.
So with this one, she has just run over and did just dash, just straight up. She just dashed over there, slid to a stop, and then took her dagger and just started stabbing at this octopus. That's what's happening.
Love
I
it.
had to narrate for you.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. That ain't great.
Not great, but it's not really trying too hard to get away. It's a little confused aminal that you are able, with that, you kind of stab into the last tentacle of it, and it lets loose with the others off the side of the ship and plops down into the dark purpley water. Anything else with your turn?
So, these seagulls are also a threat nearby. Is there another threat that is near enough I could dash to as well, since we've kind of run in?
Yeah, I would say pretty much anything up here, so you can choose between 4 of the mossy tentacles, and the bird on Addie, the bird on Derrin.
I think I'm gonna run to the next tentacle because Lelbeth thinks birds are not a big deal and doesn't understand why these people who are much larger than her are having this much trouble with birds. So she's going for the tentacle.
Awesome. Okay. Addie.
Okay, I am going to, thankfully I get to keep my rage because I got hurt. Yay! So I am going to take my hand axe and swipe at this bird at my neck.
Go for it.
What the hell?
It's not
Inspiration would not help with that.
So, yeah,
oh wait,
it's
I
just
get,
kind of dodging.
Even with a +2, that would, yeah.
There are some things even a jaunty set of encouraging words can't help.
Yeah, it's true. So, I'm just gonna flail at it. I'm gonna use my bonus action to do it again.
Do it again.
Yeah.
That one hits.
Okay,
that
so
one
that's
definitely.
better. So it takes 8 damage.
8 damage. All right.
And
You knock it out of the air. It's still alive, but it is
hate
now on the
birds.
ground in front of you.
It is now canon. Addie hates birds.
Love it. Yeah, it is down on the ground, kind of flopping as, when a bird accidentally hits the ground and is very confused why it's not in the air anymore. Kind of in that mode. So still alive, but not great. Then it will go to Linus.
Okay, cool. Since that worked, I'd like to use my bonus action to have Simon give me the help action by just continuing to like hold back because I'm getting soaked by the rain and the storm that's happening. So just trying to keep my hair out of my eyes and I'll like steady my forearm across the top of him, and I'm gonna make a sharpshooter shot to the seagull that's still in the air.
Perfect. Roll for me.
While the roll
So
is
that is a
happening, I forgot to add the
16 to
plus
hit.
2 to my damage for raging.
Oh, it is smushed on the ground in front of you then. Not
Stomp
alive
on
anymore.
it, like Shield from Dragon Age. Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the rage
Nice.
damage, is you hit it on the ground with your 8 damage with your axe, stomp on it for 2 more dead, while Linus, you let go of your shot, and it immediately it hits that bird in the head that's flying over Derrin, and it goes off the edge of the boat and disappears into the water, also knocked out.
There we go.
Which is just in time, because you see 3 more circling above the crow's nest and swooping their way back down. Would you also roll a d12 for me, please?
I most certainly can. A D12, that's gonna be a 4.
Alrighty. So this one isn't as much of another horrible complication. You are just a very perceptive person, and as so with, well, you have been more here, and as so with kind of the nature, you're noticing that as you are, focusing to make your shots and everything, it's been a little easier for you subconsciously to know when to shoot, because you're noticing that these waves seem to be heading in a pattern. It's like one big one, a couple of boom, 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 small one. Like it seems very rhythmic, not a wild, it is a wild, crazy storm, but there is something about how this water is moving that seems very controlled and very rhythmic, and possibly could be maybe useful in some sort of way. While you ponder that, Lelbeth, you have a seagull coming to munch on your face. Roll. That is only a 9. Do not think will hit. It goes to scratch at you, but just gets your hair a little bit and doesn't actually connect. Linus, I'll say you have one also that kind of comes up from behind and goes to scratch at you. This one with a 7, it kind of plops into Simon for a second and has to get itself out of the goop. And then we'll do Derrin. The third one, also a 7, misses. They all come flying in as the boat does the big lurch with the bigger waves, so it seems, in this like pattern that you're starting to notice with these waves, and all of them just go a little short coming in on their descent down into it, whereas the 5 different pieces of the seaweed tentacles continue to crush down on the ship and possibly do more harm. As you see, one of the sections on the starboard side, the whole siding itself pops off, and the just kind of breaks down and gets gobbled into this like seaweed mass, and the edge of it now is down on the actual deck and is pushing into the floor in the sidewall. Derrin, your turn officially again.
Much as I would love to deal with the seagull that's right there, we need a ship to stand on. So I am going to head towards that, and we'll see what happens.
Awesome. Okay. You're going for one of the tentacles on that side?
Yeah, I'm going for one of the
Switch
tentacles on the
to-
side. I don't know if it provokes an opportunity attack, is more why I'm wording it that way.
I
Or is
would
the
say
seagull just kind of trailing
no.
after me?
Yeah, I would say it's kind
No?
of just since everything is more in this close combat quarters type scenario, it's staying pretty close and still gathering its bearings from everything.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, small mercies, I suppose. Alright, let's take a swing on this
Okay.
tentacle and get it out of here. 14 to hit?
That will hit the tentacle. So you do 6 damage. It is still holding on, but you do carve off a good chunk of it, and it's losing a little bit of its grip. You see as it kind of slides to the side of the boat and can't quite get that pull in anymore.
Alright, and then we're going to throw an inspiration over to Lelbeth, just in case.
Awesome. Okay, Lelbeth, I believe that makes it your turn.
It's me, Lelbeth. I think after like this bird just like dive bombed me, and I'm like, I'm gonna go after this next tentacle, because I'm thinking like these birds aren't that big of a deal. These tentacles are about to rip the whole ship apart, and that's more important. So, I'm gonna sheathe my dagger and pull out my rapier and start like just like almost baseball batting this thing. That's the just hit
Awesome.
it like it's a Louisville Slugger.
Perfect.
Too many tabs. Here we go.
So many ones tonight. Nope. You start to run over and go to swing down on it as another wave jolts the boat a little bit, and you kind of stumble and land on your knee next to it. But miss. You hear Captain Redfall just kind of yelling over the storm like, hurry up, as he's trying to steer the boat. You can see a few of the other crew members are still running around, pulling, helping. They're keeping the ship going forward, essentially. Anything else you would like to do with that turn? Is there anything you can do bonus action, or are you good?
I'm good.
Okay. Addie, your turn officially.
Okay. So I no longer have any enemies. I would like to turn the harpoon. How many tentacles are still attached?
There are 3 starboard, 1 port.
All right, I'm gonna go for the. Is there one of the tentacles on the starboard side that's not, or that's near like the break that's starting?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, I want to aim for that one. I don't know what I'm gonna roll, but I'm gonna roll a d20. I'm assuming.
Yes, roll a d20 for me.
Okay.
Let's see.
Ew.
Okay, so 8. Add your. We'll say, hey, you've been on this ship. We'll let you have a proficiency. I'll let you add your proficiency bonus and then strength. So with that, what does that 8 turn into?
That 8 turns into a 12, and then I can use my inspiration to roll a d6.
12. I won't make you waste it. 12 is good for the.
I was gonna say because I got a 6 with that, but okay.
Hey. Well, we'll just say that. Roll 3 d10s, please.
3 d10s. You got it. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so 15, 20 points.
20 points. So you you swing the harpoon around. It's a little wiggly. It's a little out of place. There's some bolts that are going to need to be redone, but you are raging. You are strong. You're able to keep it steady, hold it right as you fire this harpoon that goes directly through the tentacle that is there at that break, cleaves through straight down the ship, and takes out the other 2 also on that side of the boat. as all of the ones on the starboard just break in half and fall.
I feel the power of masculinity and rage, and I want to go to war. I want more harpoons, so I'm going to take my bonus action and load another harpoon. And that is my turn.
Perfect. Okay, Linus, you are up after seeing this harpoon just demolish every enemy on the right side. You still have a bird. Derrin has a bird. Lelbeth has a bird, and there's one tentacle on the port side.
Do I get the impression that it would be hard to fire the harpoon at the birds?
Yeah, I would say so. You know,
Okay,
harpoon's
so
built for
then
big,
I will,
big fish.
yes. I'll leave the tentacle for Addie with the harpoon. Otherwise, that reload was for nothing. So, I will I'll sort of pat Simon and go, hey, sorry about this, buddy. And I'll climb on top of him so that I can get a little ways up the crow's nest, and I'll hook my legs in the rope so I don't fall, and I'll just start shooting down on them from above with Simon giving me the help action. These will
You do
be
have your safety line
sharpshooter
attached.
shots. Yeah.
I feel like Simon also
man.
is like a really good kind of, what's it called? Gyroscope? Is that where, it kind of keeps you a little level, absorbs shock?
Ooh, unfortunately, I rolled a 3 and a 4, so...
Oh.
That is gonna miss, I'd assume.
Yep, that will miss. The bird kind of confused by the movement flitters away just in time.
That's good.
Alrighty, but you are set up in a good spot for the upcoming. The birds themselves, the one on Lelbeth is going to continue to, scratch at you while you're down. No, they're not. The one in Derrin is following as you kind of step back, as all of a sudden all these tentacles are gone. And the bird just goes to, you look over and then you look back and the bird whoop, right where your head just was. And then the last one is going to go after Linus. One last time it flies up to get better grasp, but 12 I don't think will hit. Nope, they all miss as they're getting battered around by this wind and can't quite get their bearings right. There is just one little seaweed guy left, still kind of, breaking down, pulls a little bit of that wall on the port side now and is holding on, but is still alone. Derrin, back to you.
Look at the tentacles that have been, sliced in half by the harpoon. Look down to the harpoon gun that Addie's manning. Right. And rush back port to get to the last tentacle.
Perfect. All right. Go ahead and roll for me.
14.
That'll hit.
8 damage.
That will hit. That was the first time it's been hit, so it's still holding on, but a good chunk of it has been carved out as, little pieces of a full crab falls out of the seaweed and skitters across the boat and plops back down into the water.
And then we will wave encouragingly towards Linus and give him the last bit of inspiration that hopefully we should need for this.
Okay. Then we go to Lelbeth. Have I had you roll a d12 yet? You're the last one that hasn't, right? Cool. You roll a d12 for me real quick, please.
$11.
You hear Captain Redfall yell from the helm as he's holding on. He's like, there's There's something I've never seen before up here. And you all kind of turn your attention for a second. You see a ghostly apparition kind of hovering in the air between the fingers. And it's got this like saddened look on his face and seems to kind of be waving, like telling the ship to go away. What'd you like to do?
I don't ever let ghosts tell me what to do. This wouldn't be the first time and it won't be the last. Never again. She's gonna swing at this last tentacle. That's her intent. She's like, got her rapier and she's like, eh.
Perfect. Alrighty, roll to hit it. Damn, that's a good rapier hit. You absolutely just cleave it off the top part of it, plopping down onto the boat and just like a mass of now normal seaweed as the rest crumples, and you can feel all of you, the boat just jolt kind of forward, or actually kind of back a little bit because it had been pulling so hard forward into the rocks that now you can feel it kind of loosen. The current still pushing you and all of that, but you're not having this actual physical force anymore pulling you off course. And you can see Redfall kind of readjusts, kind of almost falling to the side from how heavily he was trying to pull against the tentacles. And he's like, Addie, do you speak to ghosts? As it is your turn, as he's looking very concerned on what to do.
Do I speak to ghosts? That is a great question. Does it look like one of my people?
It's hard to tell. It's humanoid and it's very, wispy, like very think like the woman in white of just like the wispy hair, the wispy dress and all of that. But it does have a little bit of that like kind of waterlogged like look to it, and how some of its clothes hang where the dark circles and some of the bloat could be on the face.
And this is at the bow of the ship, so this is like right in front of us, right?
It is floating over the water in between the crooked fingers, the stones that y'all are sailing to go in between. So it's kind of like trying to make you go away from there. Is what it looks like.
Okay,
It's
well,
telling.
since I guess I'm closest to it, I will turn around and I will say, what am I gonna say? I'm going to square my shoulders and straighten my posture like I've done very rarely since I left home. And I will say, I am Addie of the Silvercrest tribe, last child of the Water Genasi. I seek to end this curse. Let us pass.
Right. You yell this over, your voice booming over the waves and the thunder and the loud. And I mean, you in your rage and in your conviction, it's nearly as loud as that thunder. Do for me a quick insight check. Oh, I think you might be muted.
I still have that inspiration, right?
Mm-hmm. You do still have your inspiration.
Oh, thank God. Okay, here we go. Check. Okay, 15. Do I need to roll
15.
my inspiration?
I'll tell you what you see and you can decide.
Okay.
You are looking at this figure that has this like sallow, sad look on their face and is trying to wave you away almost as a warning. And you yell this, and you almost notice for a second as you're staring them down, trying to give that intense look and intimidate them into moving out of the way, that it looks like the figure freezes for a second and then starts its movements over. And it kind of dawns on you, you're like, this is just kind of like a repeating image. Maybe not a ghost.
Then I will yell back to the captain, "It's an illusion! Keep going!"
All right. He kind of steers back and...
Taylor, if you'll allow me, I think off of that, Linus will also go, yeah, I think the waves are pretty rhythmic too if you listen, like here comes one, and then here comes one, there's another one, there's gonna be one more. It's actually a pretty solid 4 count, all things considered. Not that I'm really in a position to dance at the particular moment, but something to keep in mind.
He's like, I've been in this bay a handful of times and I ain't never noticed that. All right. And y'all feel just the rocking on your ship kind of ease a little bit as Redfall is using this movement and is able to kind of steer it a little better. Wix is running around pulling different sails and throwing things in different directions, and you can tell that, you know, the two of them and then Yisha as well, they are a well-oiled machine of where Redfall just needs to turn his head a little bit in one direction and one of them runs and does exactly what needs to be done. And you can feel it all starting to level out a little bit. You do still have 3 birds swarming you though. Linus, up to you now.
Oh, perfect. So I want to make sure they all can hear me, so I'm going to go ahead and cast Speak with Animals.
Okay.
And I'm going to say, listen, guys, I get that the rain's a lot, but I'm going to need you to leave everybody alone. This isn't going to work out well for you. I mean, look at your friends here. You see, this, I just wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah, do a persuasion check for me against these
Awesome.
these birdies.
Could I convince you for animal handling, perhaps?
Yeah. That makes more sense.
It's 14 plus my inspiration die, which is a d6. 17.
Okay, 17. Yeah, I think that with one, a big person that's not a bird talking to them throws them off a little bit. And while, you know, they also have the symptoms of this Merqua transformation going on, you know, they aren't necessarily raged, blood hungry or anything. They're just kind of going after the food. And you even see one of them swoops down into one of the piles of the Merqua that was there and grabs a little like shrimp out of it and flies off, and another kind of follows with it and grabs something out of another group of it, and then they eventually kind of flit off in different directions, just saying, y'all are mean and we got food now. And the food is now gone. Taking kind of heed to your chatting. And
all right, y'all have a good rest of your day.
Let me real quick.
I also, just for everyone's sake, since not everyone does this, when Linus uses speak with animals, he literally speaks and produces these sounds of the animal as well. So Linus just starts like this screaming seagull bird call from the top of the bird's nest, and you see the birds just like stare confused for a second, and then just grab some shrimp and fly away.
Okay.
Turn to look at Linus. What did you tell them?
I just, I really tried to restate the safety hazard that they were under. Flying this in this heavy rain, it's not good for their wings. And also, we've got Addie, and they're like, real big and tough. And I didn't want to kill any more of them if we didn't have to. So
That's a good. That I'm glad they took your warning to heart.
Seagulls get a bad reputation, and they can be assholes, but in general, most things don't want to die, so if you tell them they're probably skedaddle.
I might have to have you teach me that trick, because if I had a silver piece for every time I'd been attacked by a flock of seagulls, I'd have a whole gold piece, which is not a lot of money, but it's weird that it's happened that many times. Anyways.
I just run so far away every time I get attacked by a flock of seagulls.
Terrible! I hate them!
You're yelling about birds, and you hear the dreadful sound of wood kind of scraping against rock as the Moxie, now using the waves, kind of dips down over this big massive wave and up against the edge of these rocks a little bit, still a little off kilter from everything that had happened, but thankfully, the ship survives the gap. It's not without a few battle scars, but the Moxie seem much worse.
Are we no longer in combat?
Of sorts. So no, as you kind of come down, the crew kind of exhales and eases their like white knuckled grip, ready to kind of weather whatever comes next. We'll go back to the top. Addie, will you roll a d8 for me real quick? As y'all
Sure.
come through, a little scarred, a little bruised.
That is a 7.
You are standing on the front of the ship as you hear this loud crack to your right, and you look over. So how these rocks kind of come up, one of them kind of arches just a little bit over, and it loops, or it hits that harpoon and just cracks it off the deck of the ship, and it falls into the water.
Can I jump in after it?
Sure. I mean, it is like a massive thing. I mean, you're like made for the water, so.
Yeah, I am. So I'm gonna jump in after it.
Absolutely.
Fuck! And
all right. You jump in, and everybody, I mean, I don't know how aware any of y'all necessarily would be even in water genasies and what their abilities are or anything, but you just watch Addie jump off the boat, yelling curses after this harpoon. Redfall's like, oh, god damn it, not again. And kind of like, you should get some ropes over there, and just like yells, and Yashiga kind of runs over, grabs some rope, and loops them over her shoulder, Wicks following through, and they kind of lean over and are looking. Addie, you jump down, long plummet, because very large ship, and you hit the water. It is dark. It is murky, but you have dark vision? As the Genasies? I don't remember.
let's see. I have acid resistance, amphibious, so I can breathe air and water. I can swim up to 30 feet, and I can call the waves. It does not say that I am that I have low light or dark vision.
Okay.
Sadly.
So you start to dip underwater. I mean, this is a massive piece of machinery that's kind of starting to drop down. Do a perception check for me to see if you can kind of get your bearings and notice it before it gets too far down into the dark. You are able to see, it looks like on the edge of this kind of rock formation, that you are very quickly getting pushed and kind of thrown in that direction of a bunch of the Merqua kind of growing and a little bit of a glow that you can see reflected on the glint of the harpoon that was reloaded and sticking out of the front of the launcher. Go ahead for me. Do an athletics check. As, I mean, you can easily swim to it, but you kind of try to stop its descent and pull back up. Okay, you kind of dip down, swim to it, grab it, start to pull it back up. I'll say you get about halfway and you feel it catch.
Okay.
You kind of look and there's, you know, a chain from it that, you know, had it on the boat itself. Disappears down into the dark.
Okay, I'm gonna hand over hand follow the chain down.
Okay. You start making your way down, and it's getting darker and darker, but you follow until you feel that there is a section of the chain that has just gotten lodged in between kind of a jagged section of the rocks. Do
Okay.
another athletics for me to try to like rip it or out of it.
Oh, I should have advantage on these because I'm still raging technically.
Yes, you are.
So there's 1 and 2. 21.
Yes. You kind of yank it out of in between the rock. It almost even breaks that last chain. It's just barely holding on as you kind of pulled it apart to get it out of the rock, and you start swimming your way back up. Your head pops up over the water. You're just barely, I mean, even with just your ability to swim and your strength, it is very hard to get up and look over the tops of these waves as they keep crashing down and pushing you towards the rocks, and you're constantly kind of fighting that. Everybody on the ship, do a perception check for me, please. Okay.
I'll see nothing.
So,
Did Simon
Derrin,
give me
you...
advantage?
Yeah, definitely.
There we go. Thanks, Simon.
There you go. All right. So, Derrin, you notice Addie's head kind of coming up out of the water momentarily and dipping back down. Addie, you waving, and you're able to kind of point over to so that Yisha can start kind of getting the rope down in an area that makes sense. Whereas Linus, you notice something interesting. Under the water, there's a very large, dark shadow that's making its way kind of almost not slithering. It's not a snake. It has more body to it, you know, but it is very dark and very quick coming around the edge of the rocks on the out kind of, y'all are currently in the middle of this rock formation about to drop down into this grotto where it is on the outside, kind of the open lake section, coming very quickly beelining towards Addie.
I'm gonna yell out loud and say, you're gonna want to get out of there as fast as you can. And I'll stick my thumb in my mouth and cast a fog cloud. I'll try to just like make this ink cloud essentially generate in between Addie and the thing to try and buy them some time.
Awesome. So you throw the ink cloud out and roll for me. Do an Arcana check. Add a +2 to it just because the chaos. I'm going to use that as my kind of DV for what's about to happen. I was just brought food and it smells so good and I don't know what it is.
So
We also got a hail hydrate. So if you have something to drink, take a sip. Thanks, Vivica.
Mine just got taken away to get refilled, so we will. Yay! Hi, dog. Okay.
only 4.
Okay. That's fine. So, I mean, it still kind of goes out, and it does very much hide a bit of what's going on, but it seems like maybe whatever this figure is already kind of had the scent of sort, knows where it was headed, and starts going. Addie, you are holding onto this as the rope starts to kind of come down your direction. Let me roll real quick. Maybe. Let me have dice. Nope. Okay. Can I have dice? No dice? I think my alchemy froze. I have too many tabs open.
Too many tabs.
Too many tabs. I have all of my hard dice. Oh, I have a D20 in here, actually. All my other dice are in a bag for my
I was going to say, I've got a
in-person
digital
game.
roller. What do you need?
Got it. All right. So unfortunately, Yisha goes to kind of try and throw it. It's got we'll say a little bit of like a little life vest buoy thing, so there's something to grab onto at the end, and does it just short. You're about we'll say 60 feet ish away with the fighting of this. You are kind of dragging this, so I'm going to consider it half move it because it's almost like you're dragging another person with you. But you can also now make a perception check if you would like to try and maybe see what it is that Linus has yelled about to you.
Okay. I would also like to state that I probably will want to use my control water to push myself closer to the boat.
Absolutely.
But perception, I see nothing.
You don't
I
know.
got a 5, so
Thank you.
I see nothing.
Thank you.
And so I'm just gonna shove my control water to push me closer to the boat. Control
Okay.
water or shape water. I don't know if that would work. You're the GM. You can tell me.
Yeah, I will let it. So if you want to use that as your action, I'll let you still have your full move. Like it'll still push you kind of that 30.
Okay.
So it kind of negates the slowdown.
Yeah.
So
that's my action and my movement.
Okay. So you are about halfway there
Mm-hmm.
when you feel behind you a rush of water kind of hit, and it pushes you a little bit, and you see behind you raising a little bit out of the water, almost like an alligator, just the very top of this. How do you explain a thing to a person that's probably never seen a dinosaur? A dinosaur. Just this giant
big, scaly
lizard-like
creatures before.
head. Yeah, you were in this lake. You probably know exactly what this is, if we're going to be honest. As you see the head of a giant plesiosaurus kind of coming out, jaws open, the water kind of rushing into its mouth as it's coming to bite down on you. But let's take a quick little break before we see if Addie dies. Yay! But everyone, go drink some waters, have a snack, and we'll come back for that. And what's going to happen to the ship once y'all get through these rocks?
see the gloom written on your downtrodden faces. Our precious city quivers with fear. I cast blame upon the vile Merqua that stains our docks violet and plagues the hulls of our ships. Its foul tendrils corrupt the good creatures of this land and vex our citizens. But what of us, the Eshans? We are mighty!
Alrighty. So, I think Yisha first yells at you, Addie, to look out behind you. It's a goddamn dinosaur. And Wix is just like white knuckling the side of the ship looking over. Lelbeth, Derrin, Linus, Addie. I guess, Addie, explain what you are starting to do so I can see if there's any way that they think they can boister your move that you've proposed.
So, I was dragging the harpoon by the chain. So the harpoon is already facing the creature that's behind me. So I'm going to turn around and I'm going to be firing the harpoon and then swimming as fast as I can to the ship, leaving the harpoon behind.
Okay. Lelbeth, Derrin, or Linus, is there any sort of assist that you could possibly do to help in this? If not, we'll let them do that shot, and then you can have your turn. I'll kind of let you decide.
I don't have anything, I don't think.
Okay.
No, I don't think so.
Nothing for the shot. I'm just waiting to see if the plesiosaur attacks. I'll go for cutting words on it, but we'll see if it gets to that. Hopefully not.
Okay. So, Addie, roll.
Right, rolling a d20.
Strength plus proficiency plus d20.
Okay, so that is a 23.
Okay. You aim the harpoon as best you can in these waters, which almost helps you as a wave comes and you get a little bit of the high ground and shoot down into its opened mouth, and it just clings down into the bottom part of the jaw, kind of pinning its tongue to its chin, whatever this under the inside part of this is. Roll for me again the 3d10 damage.
So that is 20 total again.
Nice. It lets out a loud kind of screech, its mouth kind of stuck open as it can't fully close down on this, metallic harpoon, can't quite break it easily. And then you're starting to swim to the rope.
Oh, yes.
All right.
As fast as I can.
Swim to the rope, though your action being to shoot, you make it up to it, and y'all watch as Yisha kind of hands over the rope to Wix, wrapping it around the edge of the boat, and she jumps in after you and immediately fastens the rope around her and you, and just looks up to y'all like, fucking go. Everybody up on top, please roll a strength. I'm going to have Wix do it as well. It's a group check. If the majority of us beat a 14, we'll be good. see. Oh,
Advantage
Wix did
for
very
Simon?
good. That's a unnatural 20 for his strength check.
I'm not built
What's
for
that?
this hard sailing life, you see.
I rolled a 3 and a 1.
No.
We're like evenly split.
Mine is not updating. Let me close out my program and go to the web page real quick.
So it was an 18, a 0, and a 3. Unless Linus gets help from Simon.
Wix also passed. But yeah, Simon could totally give you advantage. Kinda help.
I rolled with advantage. I rolled a 3 and a 1. Yeah.
That's right. So Wix also rolled and got an unnatural 20 or dirty 20. And so with him kind of there pulling up some of the rope over, and I mean, these are two big people compared to this gnome, but he is like got mommy strength, like adrenaline going right now, and is like, my friends, and is like pulling the rope with Lelbeth's help. Really, let's be honest. And we'll say y'all get about halfway up, and Yisha's able to kind of pull, do a little number to rotate y'all around where you can get your legs up on the side of the ship, and y'all can kind of continue to climb yourselves back up. As you look back and see the monster kind of dip under the boat and disappear into the waves, that harpoon still sticking out of its mouth. And
I am going to
plop
hug
back over the
Isha
ship.
and give her a big old kiss.
Yeah, and she hugs, and then like holds your face after you kiss her, and just looks at you. Stop fucking jumping off of this boat. I thought we've had this conversation before, and now you do it in a goddamn storm. Do you see what's coming? And she turns her head to like a whirlpool. What are you thinking?
That a harpoon would be helpful.
Look,
and it was.
She kisses you again and then pushes you away and walks off. She's like, oh my god! And then Redfall's just kind of like rolling his eyes and gives you that like,
yes, mommy.
What are you doing? Look, yeah. But, where was I in my notes? So much has happened. All right, so, let me roll. Not gonna get my dice. Now I can get my dice. Total just 7 additional damage was taken to the ship as you get pulled back on board Addie. All of y'all kind of take in your surroundings and get jolted a little bit as Redfall kind of knocks into one more of the rocks, and the rocks only do that much. While it is very noticeable that there has been some damage taken from that seaweed attack. Let me see. The ship kind of starts to groan a little bit with exhaustion, while the craftsmanship held up under the severe damage it could have taken. The fixtures rattle, splintered planks creak underfoot. However, the real test of the Moxie's enduring strength comes as the bow shifts downward at a sickening lurch towards waves that roll in from all sides as y'all kind of come into this area, converging in the middle to form one massive spiral. Sea spray whips up across the deck, making vision difficult, and the wind grows violent and clamors against the ship, lashing at the sails with fury. Ahead, water spills over the Maelstrom's rim and descends into the unknown. The color of the water is shifting between green and blue and black as it starts to spin in the center. The whole world kind of starts to shift sideways as the Moxie kind of rises over one last giant wave, and the ship crests at the pinnacle and pauses for a moment before the bow turns downwards and begins to plunge. The crew begins to panic, a little bit of like scream, a little bit of terror, but then also orders. Lying before you is the great and terrible maelstrom with, like I said, this water kind of spraying up and it's frothing. A hush kind of starts to fall over the crew, though, and the wind calms and the fixtures and the sails cease their clamor, and all the world goes silent as if holding its breath, bracing for the plummet into the abyss. You've reached the eye of this storm. I think our last one to roll something was Addie, so let's do Linus. Linus, could you roll a d12 for me, please?
That is a 9.
9. You see that Wix has just kind of finished pulling Addie and Yisha back up and is kind of re-rolling up the ropes as another lurch happens in the ship, knocking him completely off balance, and he flips over the railing and off the boat, wrapped up, though, thankfully, in the rope, and is currently hanging on for dear life off the edge of the railing. We've had that happening. Derrin, will you also roll a d12?
Oh, if I wanna, but I guess I should. A 5.
5. You see that in kind of the quiet and everything settling for just a minute, that the mast for the mainsail is cracked, and it is leaving, as you can little bit you now know of ships, the immediate future in jeopardy, as it is starting to kind of, with the whole turn of the ship, starting to fall forward. And this is a big old hunk of wood that could cause a lot of damage should it fully tip over. Lelbeth, will you also roll a d12 for me?
Yes. Yes. The 9.
Okay, re-roll for me since we already got 9.
Okay. 7.
Okay. Your attention's kind of turned as a crack of lightning kind of comes down out of the edge of the storm and hits the edge of the boat, not leaving any full damage, but it is bright. And you notice that Sunlisa, the cook, has been in the Bluefin Annex, the little bar there, kind of looking out and holding on and, just being ready to pull someone inside if they need cover, and happened to be staring right at the general area that lightning bolt hit, and you can tell pretty immediately she is dazed. She can't see or hear anything as she stumbles, and she stumbled out of the safety of this, in the middle of this deck, this old woman, now blind and deaf to what's going on and currently dazed. And then our last thing, Addie, roll one more d12.
$11.
11. Roll again. It's another harpoon thing. The harpoon's not here anymore. It's gone. But man, do we like that harpoon. Okay. I'm gonna just go to the next one here. I think just our last complication to kind of keep in mind here is that don't know what that is. It's some sort of eel, a thorned eel. I don't know what the long word is. Seems to have been thrown up onto the deck in the splash of all of these waters, and has kind of came over the water, rushed over the deck, and it has wrapped itself around Yisha's legs, and it's embedded these spikes, its kind of defense mechanism, into her leg as she kind of like yells out and is kind of ripping at it, but it's fully spiked. Between those 4 things, each of you can choose to handle one of them. There are suggested checks, but if you come up with something impressive, I will say to save, Wix looks to be more dex, whereas like the mast is more strength, whereas poor Sunlina's like medicine, and then what was the one for Yisha? Survival. But you are all creative, you can find your own ways to fix it, but each of you must handle one of these, as all of these things need immediate attention. Who's saving Wix?
That's the dexterity, right?
Yes.
I will do that.
Okay. So you rush over to the edge after Wix has fallen over, and like I said, he's kind of wrapped up in this, but is holding on as it's starting to slip from his legs, so he doesn't fully have any grasp to super help. So roll a dexterity check to try and maybe, swing the rope and get him pulled back up.
Oh, yeah. I got an 18.
Oh, yeah. That will do it. Yeah, you're able to get a little bit of swing for him, pull him up, grab onto his foot. And I mean, you're similar size in him too, so it makes it a lot easier than, one gnome pulling up 2 medium-sized people.
Yeah.
You're able to get him up onto the boat, and he's like, I hate this.
We got you, bud. You're okay now.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Next time, I'm not coming on these trips. And he kind of looks and he's like, oh shit, as everything else is going on. I would say the next order of importance is this mast that is starting to crack and looks like it's losing a bit of its bearings. He said its base thing is strength.
Yeah.
Unless you can think of something fancy to do.
I will be torn for like a split second because I hear Isha's cry, and I just yell, somebody get to her, and I'm gonna go for the mask because I know my strengths and I'm sad.
Awesome. All right, so you kind of run up, looking around. There's some extra ropes, there's some tools, there's some way that you can kind of lodge this and hold it together. Roll that sweet strength check for me, please.
17.
Awesome. Yeah, you are able real quick. We'll add a little flavor to maybe make Addie feel a little bit better. The trajectory it would have fallen, the falling tree would have landed on Nisha. So you're in there,
And I use my my call of the wave to really help me get around the mast faster. So it's like it's taking the it's whirling the rope around, and I'm just like pulling it taut.
Yes. Awesome. Okay. So poor Sunlisa is wandering closer and closer to the edge of the ship in her daze. Who would like to corral her back and possibly help her poor eyes?
I think I've got this one.
She's like,
Just yes, it's a bit much. Let's get you over. Do you have any salves handy or anything like that?
maybe down in the kitchen. I don't, or in my bedroom, in my drawer. I don't. What?
Oh,
There's a really
okay,
loud,
okay.
like ringing in my ears.
That's how this is. Yes, it's going to be fine. We're going to get you down and get you some rest. All right?
Oh, okay. Do for me. Where's Lisa? Why did I lose that number? There it is. I would say if you have medicine, you could do that. That is kind of the stock one to kind of walk her through her shock. But I feel like for you, maybe it's a little bit more of like a persuasion.
Yeah, I'm trying to talk her through and going, look, maybe this isn't. Maybe you shouldn't be out in this storm. I get you're an old salt of a woman, but let's see if we can. Just
I think you're schmoozing her through her shock, not being like, this is the medical reason that you're suffering these things. You know.
Yeah, and I'm not a doctor, and it shows, but I say it nice enough.
Yeah.
Damn it, Jim, I'm a bard, not a doctor.
Yeah. I play one on
it's just
stage.
enough you're able to kind of walk her. Oh, I'd probably go see that show if I could ever see again. Oh my god. And you kind of like walk her down to the underside, the lower deck. And then that leaves Linus. You see Yisha has now kind of dropped down to one leg and is trying to figure out a way to get this thing off of her that is very much in defense mode, spikes everywhere, think like porcupine almost or something. How would you like to try and help remove it?
I'll stride over and say, hey, whoa, hey, calm down. It's freaking out's just gonna make it freak out a little bit more, and then we'll just get stuck in a loop, okay? Is this thing considered a beast of some form?
Let me see. No, autocorrect. I know this word doesn't make sense. It's a D&D word. Ew. I'm going to call it an animal because my computer is having a lot of trouble opening up things. So I'm going to, we'll call it. We'll put it in that realm.
Then I will cast Animal Friendship on it to convince it that I mean no harm and just try and fuck him.
Yeah, absolutely. Does it need to do some sort of like save for that, or what is the...
I think this is the first time anyone's ever used Animal Friendship, so let me double check. Yes, it needs to make a Wisdom saving throw.
Okay. We're gonna make it a flat roll because I would assume this thing probably wouldn't have much of a bonus to wisdom anyway, which is just a 11.
That is a failure.
That is a failure. So, you watch as it kind of lets some of its spikes go and then back out, and is like trying to figure out what to do before it kind of finally fully retreats and almost like roly-polies up into like a little ball slumping off of Yisha's leg. That's like, oh god, oh damn it, that hurts. It's like a jellyfish, but like so much worse. Oh my god, thank you. Can I just kick it off? Do you want it? Can I kick it off?
Oh sure, go ahead. Its shell should keep it just fine.
Like punts it off of the boat back into the water. Thanks. Sorry. I don't like those things. So that means you all total success. As you see, Redfall is just kind of moving constantly the ship back and forth, moving its butt around, trying to keep it from not getting in any sort of comparable position that's going to cause it to flip as y'all kind of round the periphery of this maelstrom, and it breaks over the wake just in time. The waters begin to calm as the current pulls the ship away from the orbit of this vortex. The crew kind of cheers in unison, and you see unnamed deckhand number 1 uncork a bottle of rum and pass it around to the relief of everyone on ship as glimmering sunlight kind of darts through the clouds above and spills onto the wooden deck in a glorious beam. A crew member hands the bottle to the captain, and he takes a swig, kind of yells out, and he's like, "Hey, we rode the towering waves. We shot out of the top of the mists in fury. We weathered the hell that is Broken Top Bay. Now, I can tell my lady, I looked old Maelstrom in the eye and spat in it." He takes a chug. Crew members kind of yell, "First you gotta find me a lady, that is. But someday, I'll tell her." Let's see. You hear a couple of like rallies. Wix kind of yells like, "We could tell your mother about it. That's the only lady you're ever gonna get." And he's like, "Ah, fuck you, man." You know, they're kind of like jeering back and forth as the wind has kind of died down. The waves are no longer this like violence that are wreaking havoc on the ship. A gentle current kind of thrusts the boat towards the gaping mouth of a rocky cave. The ship creaks towards the darkness, and the air grows still and cold. A smell wafts from the inside, damp and moldy. And for a moment, the world rests in a quiet serenity. Is there anything any of y'all would like to do as you have a moment of quiet rest, nothing actively trying to kill you?
Linus will take some
Addie
time
is going to be asleep in the corner, sleeping off the rage.
There you go.
Very valid. Linus will just take the time to like undo the impromptu bun because it's not good for his hair.
Beautiful. And I have to scroll through all of the very possible oh no's y'all could have suffered. There is a possibility, had all of those ones been on very, very bad things, that could have been the end of our show. Of all the different things, but thankfully no, the really, really bad stuff where the boat got rolled. Let's see.
So what you're saying is we're big damn heroes. Great, got it.
You're big heroes.
Ain't we just?
Okay, so as y'all kind of tend to your needs and hanging out and relaxing, you go through this cave, and it seems like, I want to make sure I'm like saying the right thing because there's so many possibilities. I don't want to be like, and then everyone's dead. And I'm like, oh wait, absolutely wrong. All right. So you kind of go through this cave. It starts to narrow a bit, but it's very slow moving river. The walls, you notice as you're going through, are layered in this thick, gauzy white silk. And underneath, there's little violet pockets of lights that kind of pulse slowly. you notice that ahead, a humid, sickly sweet air kind of wafts your direction, and it clears to this like refreshing mist as you arrive in a large cavernous room. The channel flows kind of over, further down in this cavernous room, flows over to the edge, and you see as some of the crew kind of make to drop anchor, and the boat stops, not getting pulled that direction, and you can kind of look over and from where the boat is anchored and see that you are near the top of a waterfall that thunders down into the blackened, misty depths of deep blue oblivion. But it's very calm, almost peaceful, with this rushing water and the echoing drips kind of lulling the mind. Mayfire kind of makes her way out from under. Addie, I think Yisha kind of walks over and kicks you awake as the boat stopped.
No.
You hear Mayfire.
Oh, okay.
Are we
I'm
good?
I'm up.
I helped Sunlina with what little medicine I knew, and she's getting some vision back. Is everyone else okay? Is there anything else I need to do? Yisha just kind of points at her leg, and she's like, "Oh." Mayfire pulls out just like some paste of some sort of medicine, kind of rubs it on it. Was that as terrifying up here as it was down below?
Well, yeah. And thank you very much for the raid, Raven. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
There was some animal I've never seen before in the water behind Addie. That was a big one.
They don't normally come to the surface. But you saw that, right, Linus? It was like artificial.
Oh yeah, there was definitely something, a couple of different weird things going on now that I think about it.
I don't know much. There's so many stories of all sorts of different creatures. Some people say the lake is bottomless, and there's so many, there's stories upon stories. Who knows what's really true?
With all the fake stuff, do you think that somebody's just hanging around casting illusions, or what?
Well, if there's illusions, it might be a good sign that we're in the right track.
Yeah, I mean, they're trying to scare us off.
Mm-hmm. Which makes me wonder what state we're going to find Gilgazo in if we do find him, if he's actively hiding, or if there's something else. I don't know.
Well, there's only one way to find out. And Addie will get up.
Onward?
Make sure all of their equipment is attached. Tie up their hair. Isha, you should probably take care of that leg and stay here with the ship.
Yeah, I think that's right. And Redfall kind of walks down. He's like, "Yep, you guys are good crew members, that's for sure. That could have gone a lot worse, but I think y'all are better shipmates than we would be battle buddies in whatever you've got coming. I don't know how to do much else other than, steer and drink, so
Well, hey, at
Every
least
good
that's
crew needs a
multitasking.
driver.
Get away. Oh, looks like we've got some repairs we can work on anyway. And y'all kind of look around and see that there are other pieces of ship and wreckage in here as well that maybe have washed in from some of the others that have not survived the trip. So you can get some scrap parts from any of those that aren't, too worn to bits. And get patched up enough to do that again.
Well,
God,
hopefully,
I'm
if
gonna
we
take a
find
nap.
who we're looking for, we won't have to. But hey, Captain, can you do me a favor?
Maybe. What'd it be?
Addie takes off their locket, and hands it to him. Keep this safe for me. And worst case, put it on that island.
You gotta get back, because otherwise we're not gonna survive getting out of here without you people.
I know,
Yeah,
but
I'll keep it.
thanks. Appreciate it.
It's in a little pocket and like buttons it up. You see that on one section of this little grotto there is a old dock that have kind of drifted a little closer to. Wix and unnamed crewman number one grab one of the little walkways and kind of shoves it off the edge of the boat to make a little bit of a path. You can see a couple of the boards kind of creak and break on the actual dock itself, but for the most part it holds. And she's like, be careful. Mayfire grabs her stuff. You are all free to grab all of your equipment and gear that you think you'll need for the journey. And you walk off of the boat and get down onto the dock. It's a little creaking, couple of them let loose from your steps, but you're able to make it to this little bit of a sandy beach here. And Mayfire kind of looks up and just points her finger up. And you all look and you see something glimmer in the dark. A shock of light travels from one end of the cavern to the other along a line, and your eyes kind of strain to follow the light. But then you see it. Just barely detectable. Some sly, devilish trickery. A long, intricately woven web stretched across the waterfall at the edge of this little grotto, about midway down. The webbing kind of trembles in silence, hushed by the roar of the waterfall. And then you see that long, dark appendages emerge from behind, creeping across the web with speed defying its size. Then you see this long and monstrous, shimmering and violent, hideous beast dripping with Merqua. While possessing the shadow of a spider, the monstrosity that emerges has these sharp, spiky scales and an almost like demonic presence to it, of something that is far worse. You can see almost a dragon-esque head, it looks like, protruding off of a more spider-like body with more scales, and they almost look, the scales almost like armored on it. And on this odd dragon-esque head, it still has all the eyes like a spider would. It kind of clambers its way on the spider web. Everybody, roll initiative for me. While it doesn't seem to be fully attacking yet, it'll be easier for our general what are we doing? As let me switch here. There it goes.
18 for me.
Okay.
Got a 15 here.
Okay. Just move my right tab here now that this one is responding. Once that one is done. Okay. So, we'll say that for ease sake, this giant spider creature has made its way, and we'll call it about 90 feet, as it is made its way over this waterfall web and is kind of halfway up the wall. There's a little bit of a sandy beach that kind of goes all the way around the circumference of this grotto. But where the dock itself is, you have about, 60 feet, 30 up. Math, triangles. You know how that works. I don't. As I would say anyone could probably tell, for sure, Linus knowing animals. It knows you're here. You're now realizing the silky substance on the walls and that the boat has touched and gone through was the web of this monster. Linus, you are up first, though. What would you like to do?
I'd like to go, oh boy. Bugs don't normally like talking too much, so I want to be on your P's and Q's and maybe a couple other letters as well here, folks. And I mean, it's not attacking us yet, so I feel like Linus wouldn't attack it first. But what I will do is I'll ready an arrow, and with a bonus action, I'll spend my last spell slot, and I'll just hunter's mark it. Just in case.
Just in caseies. All right.
And that'll be my turn.
Addie, what would you like to do?
Spiders are almost as bad as birds, and I will rage. And I'm going to take my halberd out and have a, because I can dual wield with one two-handed weapon and one one-handed weapon. It's kind of freaking cool, and that's what I'm doing. Yeah. And I'm going to stab with my halberd. Hopefully.
Heck
maybe.
Yeah. So you're just trying to actually hit it, not throw something.
Yeah.
Because it is still like, you got 90 feet. Like you gotta get up to it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well then, I am going to, instead of raging, I am going to dash forward which will put me at... Why does it still say I'm level 3? That's weird. Okay. So dashing puts me at 60, so I'm 30 feet away from it.
Okay, perfect. Okay. It is this thing's turn. So I want to read more. Okay, so you run up and you see that there is a large shadow that kind of almost seems to spread across the rock ceiling from where this creature is and creeps down the side of the wall. You see that this creature's legs kind of hang in the air like thick spears as it drops just a little bit on its web. Its long, prickly abdomen kind of slopes haphazardly to one side, dragging most of its weight behind it. You see that its eyes kind of turn its attention to you. 7 of them, pink and shining. They have hatred in them. They look angry. And you can see that the purple Merqua is seeping from the gaps in its exoskeleton as a swarm of its little minions comes down the wall and attack you, Addie.
All right.
I'm putting here, because you are here.
My
You're
armor class
able
is 15.
to. Perfect. You're able to, as these spiders kind of rush down the wall towards you, just kind of knocking them off constantly, and none of them get any sort of bite onto you.
It looks really cool because I'm like doing some neat like bow staff stuff with my pole arm, my halberd, because I'm cool.
Super cool. All right, Lelbeth, it is your turn.
I'm gonna. Is there like anything around that I could hide behind?
Yeah. So there are bits of broken ships, rocks kind of jutting out of the sand and in different areas. I would say even as you kind of look around to some of these things that at a first glance you think are rocks or piles of something on the ground, seaweed maybe, you start to notice that some of these piles are in fact human shaped, and they're wrapped up in this silk that covers the walls and everything. But yeah, there's totally things to hide behind.
Yeah, so I'm gonna hide, and try to get as close as possible to it.
Okay.
While still being hidden.
Okay. Yeah, you can kind of creep along the wall. Do you want to? Because you can bonus action hide as rogue, so movement and action to kind of get closer. So I'd say you are pretty much directly below it. You know, you've made this kind of 60 around to it, and then it's just up on the ceiling about 30 feet high or so.
Okay.
But you're kind of hiding in the rocks. Then it go. Oh, I don't have Derrin. Derrin, could you roll initiative for me again? For some reason, you're not in here.
Thought I did, but let's just give that a thing.
Cool. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Go for me real quick since we accidentally
Yeah.
kind of skipped you.
It's fine. Happens. Derrin looks like just wrinkles his. Ugh. Well, they do say there are tales about dragons, I suppose. Takes in a breath and then lets out a terrible, shrill shriek as he casts Shatter right on top of him.
Ooh, yes. All right. What does that entail for me?
So that is going to be a lovely, should be a DC 14 con save, is that right? I thought it'd be higher at this point,
Oh,
but
boy.
what do I know?
All right. That's not con. Where's my con? There's my con.
And that should be everything within
it is a
20
sheep.
foot of the center.
So, big mama, don't make it. Let's see about its little babes. Nope, little babes smushed.
Nope.
Not fully
Yep,
smushed, but mostly
17
smushed.
thunder damage to everything in the area. I think that was time well spent.
Alrighty, then let me damage this one. Okay, why do they not have initiative? Let's go. Show. Now they have initiative. Okay. Gotta re-damage them. No, okay. Perfect. So then back up to the top of the order at Linus.
Coolio. Linus is going to. So is Simon close enough to attack one of the swarms?
But I would say no, since both Addie and Lelbeth had to use movement and action to kind of get up there, or like super fast.
Then I will have Simon help steady my aim. Oh, I completely forgot that I was holding my attack. So should I roll?
Oh, yes.
Now or just because I did completely forgot about that. I apologize.
Yes, I did too. I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead and we'll roll that, and then your official turn.
All right. So that one is a 12 to hit.
12 does not, and you're going for the big one?
Big Mama, yeah.
Yeah, no, does not hit Big Mama.
So, reaction attack misses. Since Simon can't get anywhere else, I'll just have him give me the help action. This longbow attack. This is gonna be a sharpshooter shot, which I might regret. 16?
16, that just hits.
Okay, awesome. So then that is... I need another d6 because she is hunter's marked. So that's 19 points of damage total.
Nice. Ouch. You hear like this hiss and screech kind of echo through, and then all of you notice that the webs just around the cave seem to kind of react to her yelling and just kind of vibrate. Anything else?
I don't think so. That's my turn.
Okie dokie. Okay, so then that goes to Addie.
So I have all these little critters around me, right?
Yep.
All right, I am going to make an attack with my halberd at the little critters.
Okay.
Sorry. Rephrase. Bonus action rage.
Okay.
And Then let me just mark that off real quick. All right. Then I'm gonna attack with my halberd. Ugh, that is a 10. So I
10
probably
does
don't
not hit. Nope.
All right, and I don't have another bonus action, so that's it for me.
Okay.
Hopefully they
Okey-dokey.
bite me.
All right. So the big mama is going to so many things. Okay. Is going to jump down and just kind of dive right at you, Addie, with all of their legs and the pokey bits and everything, and just trying to impale you, essentially.
Sure.
Do. Yeah. So it's kind of biting, kind of attacking. Wow, how many 9s have I rolled tonight? I'm assuming that does not hit.
It does not. It does not. So basically, I'm able to roll out of the way a little bit.
Perfect. Then it did not hit, so it does not get to do anything else. But the little group of buddies is going to continue to try and swarm on you, but you're able to still just kind of push them out of the way before it's too late. Derrin, back up to you. This big giant creature is now on the ground, and you see one swarm of spiders so far on Addie.
Oh, I hate split choices like that. But how's Addie looking right now? Are they looking
I'm
messed
fine.
up, or are they just dealing? Okay, yeah, they're fine. They're fine.
I have not taken any damage since the seagull.
Okay, then no worries there. At that point, then I don't want to get any closer to that thing than I have to. So you just. Oh, it appears there's an Aetherra here, just lurking and waiting. And we're going to viciously mock it.
Mock it.
Mockery. So there's a wisdom save this time.
Alright, let's see. Oh my gosh. These are supposed to be difficult encounters. Why can't I roll? Yeah,
Because it's late.
Yeah, it just kind of cocks its head, almost very like dog-like, and then like confusion, and you can see all of those angry eyes just kind of turn their attention towards you, Derrin, with a bit of a wince.
Yeah, so it'll be 2 psychic damage, and they'll have disadvantage on the next attack.
Perfect. I'm gonna write this here, but do not let me forget. Okay. Okay. Then that goes to Lelbeth. You are in hiding. Big Mama and spiders all now within reach of you.
She's just wild enough to try to leap on Big Mama's back and stab at, like, the eyeballs. That's what she wants to do.
do it. Okay. Do a quick athletics check for me before you hit.
Surely. Check. Ooh, 19,
Okay.
baby.
Okay. Hey. All right. Yeah, you easily kind of vault off of this rock that you're behind, jump onto its back, and you're kind of standing right between where it doesn't necessarily have like a very protruding neck or anything, but where that joint is, and you are going to have full access to this eye, which I will give you a choice because I love doing this with called shots. If you want to take a -5 to your roll, if you hit still, you will do double damage on the eye.
I don't know what its I don't know what its AC is. I'm not gonna take it.
Okay.
I'm not gonna take it. I don't think I can do it. But she's wedging her little dagger right in there. That's what she's doing.
Nice.
I don't
All
think I
right,
would've-
that hits.
I made the right call.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sneak attack, right? Because you were hidden.
yeah. Oh, yeah. But even though I jumped on it?
Yeah. Because I was just counting that all as one movement, essentially, make sure you can get up there
Okay.
without making notice. So that is 11 total.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. Let's see. Yeah.
Itamas. Okay. This thing's not feeling great, y'all. Be awesome if they could hit something. Linus, it's back up to you.
Linus is going to. I guess Linus will just rinse and repeat, right? Keep attacking Big Mama. No one else seems to be particularly struggling. Like they need assistance? I don't think so. Okay. Cool. So hey GM, I heard you like to do called shots.
Do it. Do that called shot.
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
Can I stack the called shot with my sharpshooter so it's a -10 to hit, but it'll be +10 and then double damage?
Yeah.
Dope. Go for
Yeah.
it.
Go for that.
Will this work? Almost definitely not. But we're here for a good time, kids. I'll use my bonus action so that my buddy
I'll go ahead and say it now
stays
too,
down.
just in case it happens. If it crits, we're still doing crit double damage too. So you could
Nice.
potentially knock this thing out in one shot if you crit on this called sharpshooter.
Let's go with the crit.
Oh.
That's not a crit. So that's
Is that
gonna
a
be
what?
a 6. I rolled a 9.
You're
One and a 9, yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, 6 does not. It goes wide, but it takes out a whole chunk of like a stalactite on the wall that just clambers down. You're like, whoa.
Sorry. A little too much sauce on that one.
Hisses and kind of, Lelbeth, you feel it almost like tense up as the web gets all shook around and everything. Alrighty. Addie.
So I'm gonna take that opportunity as it flinches to stab up with my halberd.
Yes. Hit it.
Nope. But
Nope,
I'm gonna
no
follow
hitter.
up with my hand axe for my bonus action. Come on, baby. Hell yeah.
That
All
one
right, so that's
does.
a 19 plus all my pluses. So that's 7 damage. I don't have rage anymore because I didn't get hit last time. I think that's how that works.
But you've still been attacking. I think it's
I
like
have
you're
been
attacking, or
but-
it's attacking.
But I haven't hit anything.
I never remember. I haven't played a
It
barbarian.
it
really.
ends early if you are knocked unconscious or if your turn ends and you haven't attacked a host. Oh, I have been attacking. Okay, so I still have it. So it's 7 plus 2 because I'm raging.
Perfect. Okay. It is holding on still, and it is. I mean, swinging its head back and forth. That purple goop just flying everywhere from all the bits of its exoskeleton.
Like on my face. It's fine.
Yeah. As it is then going to. Hold on. I want to see. I don't fully understand. Let me see how this is going to roll. Okay. It's still like how it was worded. It didn't seem like it was still actually rolling, but it is actually rolling. Okay. So they bite at you with its weird little chompers for 10 damage, and I need you to please make a con saving throw.
Okay, so it would actually be 5 damage because I am raging.
Yes, and this will
And
be
just for
piercing.
reference, did you do that with disadvantage?
Oh, you're right. You're right. Let's roll again and we'll take the worst. Oh, that was the worst.
Remember your triggers, kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it saved you
well-
from a nat 20.
It did save me from a nat 20, so there's that. So I take 5 damage and I make a con save. I have to beat 10. Where are my saves? There they are. Should not be terrible, but let's see. Damn it. I don't have advantage on con, do I? No, I do. Oh, wait. No, I only have advantage on dex saves. Okay.
All right, so you are going to take 6 poison damage.
Okay.
And that is that currently.
All right, so that's 11 total.
Yes.
Because the other one was half because of resistance.
Yep,
Wait.
Yep.
Yeah, and the con
That's the
save
first-
is for... Is it for poison?
Yes.
Or is it acid?
poison?
Darn.
Awesome. Okay. Then oh, I did that in the wrong order. Oops. Oh well, that's fine. The swarm is still gonna try and get you. Oh, I think they do this time. Look at them. Trying. You're a little distracted from the poison. Kind of makes your vision a little bit blurry as you can feel the little bites starting to dig in. Derrin, your turn again.
Oh dear. We still have that whole swarm of things, and the big one's still up as well. Oof.
Yep.
Messy. Very, very messy. But I can't do that right now. That feels like that's a lot. The gods curse a coward, much less a fool. And he'll swipe out the rapier and rush in to see if he can maybe finish this thing off and go for the big one.
Okay. Roll to hit him.
17 to hit
That will hit.
for
Right.
11 damage.
11 damage as you slice into this creature. They kind of rear their head back from a little bit away from Addie from the bite there in the process of Lelbeth. You're kind of holding on like a Brandon Barranco or something with your just dagger in their eye as your stabilizer. Anything else you'd like to do, Derrin? They're still up, but they felt it.
I've got one last inspiration. I think I'm gonna hold on to it though, just in case.
Okay. Wonderful. Lelbeth.
Okay, I'm holding on. It's bucking like a bronco, but I'm gonna dig my hand into this little like crevice, my other little hand that's not holding the dagger, and grip as tightly as I can, and then take the dagger out and give another and stab again.
Go for it.
Do it.
Not quite. They feel you kind of dig into their back and start shaking their head a little bit, trying to get loose of you, and you swing just a little wide. Anything else? Any bonus action or anything?
Nah. I don't think so. No. That's it.
Okay. Then it goes to Linus.
Okie doke. See, the issue with me, chat, is that I just want to try it again. Even though I probably shouldn't.
Do it.
I'm just gonna roll with my sharpshooter. I won't make it a called shot.
Okay.
And a bonus action from my buddy for help. It's 27.
You
Natural 20. I should have done it. Son
should
of
have
an
done it.
absolute. Always trust your instincts, kids. Risk it for the biscuit every time. I'm so mad. Life. Okay, so
All right.
that's an
So it
additional-
is 24 total plus
No,
4.
it is.
Oh yeah, it's a lot more than that.
Yeah, it's 42 plus 4.
Jesus. I mean,
Yeah,
while
so
you
46
did not call shot it, how do you want to end this monstrosity with that shot?
I want Linus to be legs crossed on the deck of the ship now, but he's so tall that he can still see over Simon. And he's just like got his chin resting on Simon and the bow pulled almost like there's like half an inch of space in between Simon and the drawn arrow. And he's just sitting there like, yeah, I know. Hey, and I tried to tell them the same thing. They're really great at this, you know. Traveling with some great folks. And then there's like a little like, and he goes, oh, okay, and aims up just a little bit and then fires the arrow. And it just goes whizzing by Lelbeth's head and sticks the head to the wall.
You all watch mid-attack as this arrow takes out this creature. The spiders that are currently climbing over Addie immediately scatter, and you can hear just this echoing hiss and screech of thousands and thousands of little creature voices echoing through as it gets quiet again. It is dead. Ow!
I got it that time.
Great job.
Immediately swash over to Abby and just, this is going to sting a little bit, but it's something I learned from
I can take it.
All right. slap them right on the bite mark and cast Cure Wounds.
Thank you.
Yeah, you learn a few things when you visit the Feywild. It's just not always the best version of that. You heal you for 11.
Everyone, mark a inspiration for me, please, as y'all have survived the Broken Top Bay, cleared, from what you can tell, this hidden grotto. You sit and look as the shore curves around. Here, let me stop our intense music real quick. Let's go back to calm. You kind of sit down. Mayfire's just kind of been standing on the dock the entire time, looking at y'all. And you take in now the shore curving around the far rim of the cavern. You can hear the roar of that waterfall echoing off the walls, and the glowing moss blankets the shore in that violet illumination. A neon beach almost, both alien and familiar. The Moxie VII, now wounded, but standing, just bobs quietly. You see that Wix and Yisha and Redfall are all leaning on the edge of the boat, like just kind of watching everything that just happened as it kind of makes finally on its rotation.
I give them a
hits
thumbs up,
sandbar.
like I'm okay.
Yeah. You think y'all want to rest a bit before going on? Mayfire's like, huh? Probably sounds good, right?
Wouldn't hurt.
I don't need rest. I'm ready to go. Let's go.
If you want me to keep taking hits, I need to rest.
I'm extremely tired. Yeah.
You are absolutely insatiable, but we should rest.
A lot of people have called me insatiable before, but not for this.
Mayfire kind of just turns around and walks back down the little bit of the dock she had made it through and climbs back onto the boat, and sits down and seems to kind of start writing in some of the bit of information that y'all have found here in the wreckage of these ships, the odd creatures. And you are all left to, short or long, up to y'all. I think by the amount of spells, maybe we're long resting it on that exhaustion. So avoid that.
I wouldn't say no, but actually pretty good.
And you're free to kind of walk around this little grotto area, look throughout the little bit of the day that's left. Some of the crew members poke around on the boats to try and see what they may be able to salvage. Mayfire makes up another pot of chili with the last of the meat rations she brought before they go bad. And y'all are able to relax as much as you can in this web-covered, glowing cave with who knows what coming down the web, the pipeline, the road. Oh, I don't even know what to call this position y'all are in. But we'll find out more next time, as I think that's a good place to wrap it. Have a long rest, IRL and person and players. Before we say goodbye, everybody tell us about yourself. We're gonna go in the order again. Marlo, tell us about yourself, where you can find you, what you do.
My name's Marlo. You can find me on Twitter at Marlo Bogwitch. That's Bogwitch with 2 G's. You know, I do a lot of things. I stream, I podcast. I could be on your shows, maybe, depending, you know, my schedule lines up. And I really like horror, so if you've got something horror going on, please let me know. And I do have a project in the pipeline that is horror. Casting will be coming out soon. So please follow me on Twitter if you would like to have a shot at being on that show. It's going to be great. It's going to be a streamed game. It's going to be amazing. All that to say, I also do a few other things. I am on 2 podcasts. One is Sins of the Father. I'm an editor. I'm the editor and player for that show. We are kids looking for our missing fathers. These kids are very much scarred by the first season, trying to deal in the second season. And it's just a great show. Very heartwarming and silly. A lot of just wild, chaotic energy in that show. And then Tales to Inspire is a show that we are currently on the first season of. It is an alternate history where superheroes exist. First season is set in the 1940s. We are punching Nazis. You want to hear us punch some Nazis? That's a great show to listen to. I'm playing a 1940s Hollywood starlet who has man problems. And, you know, hey, who doesn't, you know? Why do we even like them anymore? I don't know. Anyway, that's it. That's all for me. Thanks for having me, and thanks for watching, y'all.
Woohoo! Matt, tell us about yourself.
Hi, I'm Matt, also known as the Killer GM. I write on Twitter at the Killer GM. I write about nerd stuff, gaming, that sort of thing. You know, sometimes I run things out of my own channel also on twitch.tv/MattEv7. You know, been taking a break, working on a few things. Some things I got to be secret about for now, but maybe I'll be able to talk about them soon. Trademark. So yeah, keep an eye out, see what's going on. I like to play in games with folks. I like to run games for folks. If you're looking for somebody to do a game, hey, look, I can do things. Promise. We'll see. Catch you folks later.
Awesome, D.
Hello, my lovely children of the dark. My name is D. I've been bringing you Linus Poodle, courtesy of his parents. And thank you so much for joining us. I do things and cause trouble on the internet. I'm a streamer, voice actor, musician, and I've got all sorts of things in the pipeline. We're currently on hiatus, but you can catch up on all 10 of the first episodes of the prologue of Through Hollow Flames, which is a D&D 5e homebrew podcast that you can get on all your favorite podcasting services. Outside of that, on Wednesdays, you can find me over on TTRPG, where I play a gruff and tumble security officer in a magocracy that has just been overrun by zombies, and all the magic is gone. So, yeah, our GM told us, hey, make sure your characters have at least this number of spells, and then turned the magic off. So, come see how we deal with that. And outside of that, yes, I'm not going to get up and get my belt, but I am still the reigning and retaining TTRPG Universal Champion. And if you want to know how you can win one, maybe you should get some friends together and follow me on Twitter at @It'sTheRiddler. We just recently crossed 900 followers, so join the party.
Awesome. And Spoons.
What is up? My name is Spence. I've been playing Addie Silvercrest, your helpful water genasi barbarian who apparently now has a kissing relationship with the first mate. That is A-okay. You can see me back here on Sundays at 3 p.m. as your gay mixtress for Thirsty Sword Lesbians. You can also find all of my links on the link tree that I have posted in the chat, which is linktr.ee/Resonant Moon. You can see all my podcasts, all my TikTokies, all that good stuff. So yeah, check me out there.
Woohoo! And then I have been Taylor, or at _potato_ all the places on the internet that I exist. You can find me here obviously every Tuesday, and then every single Friday through July pretty much, and then hopefully forever, playing Shadowrun, ran by Mitch. Then you can also find me every other Friday, though we're on a little bit of a hiatus because Gen Con's coming, baby. We gotta prep for that. On At High Shelf Collective, also running D&D, a spooky carnival theme. It is our Midway Madness, as well as we have Cyberpunk Red, but Mass Effect. We have a whole PDF. It's called Omega. It's pinned on my Twitter if you want to go get it to play a Mass Effect themed game. It's amazing. That is this Saturday if you want to catch up. It's the last Saturday of every single month. But like I said, go download for free that PDF and play games, or come have me run it for you, because I love Mass Effect. It was a lot of my life, especially in college when I procrastinated everything else to just play Mass Effect over and over again. So I'm there, y'all. Plus we have, all sorts of things. Video games. We've got more D&D coming. We got Tales from the Loop coming. We have a one-shot tomorrow that Mitch is also going to be in, another Weave the Tailor that our friend Blair, who also runs social media for us, is running on High Shelf Collective, where it's basically The Bachelor. It's going to be super fun. Mary Kate from 2000 Tales is also in it. It should be super, super entertaining. I think I have decided that my character is just like hot goth, so I'm really excited to have all sorts of beautiful dates. But other than that, come back here every other Thursday for Pathfinder into the Stormlands. Check our social to make sure you're on the right coordinating week for that, as well as, like I said, we have Shadowrun on Friday. We have Necrobiotic on Saturday and Thirsty Sword Lesbians on Sunday. I think that is all the things. Everybody have a wonderful rest of your week. Don't forget to show love to all of these beautiful people that have played games with us, as well as all of our sponsors and all the things that make this channel great. And happy Pride! So many good things this month. Love it. Goodbye. I'm so much nicer on my sign-offs on Weave. On High Shelf.